ReAnn Gonzalez here with Edge Home Finance in El Paso. Let's talk about something I'm hearing a lot right now. I'm just going to wait till later in 2026 when rates drop. I get it. Nobody wants a higher payment, but I'm going to tell you the truth because that's my job. Waiting can feel safe, but it can be the most expensive decision you make because while you're waiting on rates, home prices don't stop. Competition doesn't stop, and your rent definitely doesn't stop. And here's the part most people miss. If rates do drop later, you can refinance. But you can't go back and buy today's house at today's price. So, in this video, I'm going to show you a strategy buyers are using right now to lower their payment without waiting on the market to cooperate. Okay, so now let's get into it. This strategy is called a 2-1 buydown. And when it's negotiated correctly, the seller funds it. You get the relief, they still get their price. Let's talk about the real cost of waiting. Most buyers think like this. If rates drop 1%, my payment drops, so I'll wait. But that math ignores two big things: price and time. Price matters because if you buy later and the home costs more, that higher price affects your payment for the life of the loan, even if you refinance down the road. Time matters because every month you wait is another rent payment you'll never get back. Rent doesn't build equity, and most of the time, rent keeps going up. Also, when rates drop, demand usually goes up. More buyers jump back in the market, and that often means more multiple offers, which can push prices up again. Now, is waiting always wrong? No, but you need to compare the two paths side by side. Buying now with a temporary payment reduction versus buying later at a higher price with a slightly lower rate. The math never lies. And a lot of time, the "I'll wait" strategy costs more than people expect. How a 2-1 buydown works. A 2-1 buydown is a temporary rate subsidy. Your loan has a fixed note rate, but for the first 2 years, your payment is reduced because a seller credit is used to pay the difference in interest. Here's the simple version. Year number 1, your payment is calculated as if the rate is 2% lower. Year number 2, your payment is calculated as if the rate is 1% lower. Year number 3 and beyond, you're at the full note rate. For example, an FHA loan, $250,000 purchase price, 6% note rate. With a 2-1 buydown, year 1 feels like 4%. Year 2 feels like 5%. Then it returns to 6%. And here's the key. That buydown cost does not have to come out of your pocket. If it's negotiated correctly, it's written into the offer as a seller concession, and it's set up with your lender and approved within program guidelines. So, why this is a smart strategy right now? This is not just about saving money, it's about having options. First, you get breathing room in the first 24 months when buyers feel the tightest. Moving expenses, furniture, repairs, life changes, that first year is when people feel it. Second, it can be an easier negotiation than cutting the price. A lot of sellers hate dropping price because it affects comps and it feels like they're losing. But a credit for a buy down keeps the price stronger while still giving you real monthly savings. Third, it gives you flexibility. If rates improve in the next 12 to 24 months, you refinance. If they don't, you're still in the home, still building equity, and you knew the payment plan from day one. And one quick tip for agents and buyers. Don't just write seller to help with closing costs. Be specific. Write it as seller concession to fund a 2-1 buy down. And give me a call and I'll provide the payment breakdown so the listing agent can clearly show the seller how it benefits both sides. So, if you remember nothing else, remember this: you don't have to sit around waiting for the market to give you a lower rate when you can negotiate a lower payment today. A 2-1 buy down can bridge that gap, especially on an FHA loan around that $250,000 price point, because it buys you time and flexibility without changing the long-term structure of your loan. If you're a buyer, let's talk. If you're an agent, I'd love to partner with you on these strategies. Message me 2-1-FIX and I'll run the real numbers with taxes and insurance for your exact property so you can see it in black and white. Talk soon.